Good morning, ladies. Welcome back. It's that time of year again. It's summertime. So more people start thinking about sunscreen, even though we should be thinking about it 365 days a year. So I thought I would go over my favorite sunscreens that I'm using. Some of them are repeats from last year that I showed, but I do have a couple of new ones. But I think when you find something that you really like, continue to use it. So I'm going to show you the ones that I am using right now. If that sounds interesting to you, I do hope that you will continue watching this video all the way through. When it's done, give it a big thumbs up and also consider subscribing to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who have been watching my videos. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you. My name is Bonnie and this is Bons.Ageless Beauty. So let's get started with our video today. Okay. If you hear some noise in the background, my husband just opened up the garage door, which is underneath our bonus room in our house, and he's going to be cutting the grass. So hopefully there won't be a lot of noise coming through. Okay, I'm going to start with my tried and true favorites that I have been using for 1 or 2 years. The first two are actually drugstore brands. The first one is CeraVe. I love CeraVe sunscreens. This is a hydrating mineral sunscreen. CeraVe does have one that is not a hydrating one. It is made for more normal to oily skins. I use this one because it is made for dry skin. This is an SPF 30, which is the minimum that you should be using, 30 or above. It is also tinted. It says it blends seamlessly into skin with a lightweight, non-greasy feel, suitable for sensitive skin. It also has ceramides and niacinamide, which we know are both great for our skin. I do love this. I'll put it on this finger and I will show you. It does have a nice tint to it, but it blends in so well. It does not leave your skin feeling tacky, sticky. It hydrates your skin. I love the way that it looks. Well, you can't really see this one. A couple more weeks. Hopefully this will be gone off of my hand, and hopefully I will get a good report that my final x-ray comes back okay, and I will be good to go and back to normal with just a little metal in my arm and a scar. But as you can see, this has a nice, it's got a sort of a dewy, but a natural tint to it. So it's not like real greasy looking. It's not drying matte, but it feels really nice on my skin. And I do like this. I will use this all year round because it is hydrating. One of the other ones that I do use in the summertime, and I will mix the two of these together, is the Australian Gold. This is the Botanical 50 Tinted Face. And I got the one for medium to tan, which I do not have darker skin. But when I start putting Sunless Tanner on, which I have started, so I've got a little bit of color in my arms, you can see. I have started doing that now since we're wearing short sleeves here finally. I will add a little bit of this to it. Now this one, it says it's lightweight, it's got a matte finish, it's anti-aging, it's water resistant up to 80 minutes, and it's got a broad spectrum SPF 50 on it. This is a physical sunscreen as well. It's titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. So I like that they are both physical sunscreens, so they do mix well together. And what I can do then is, because the tint on my CeraVe is lighter, that's why I can wear it all year round, I can use that. But you can see the tint on this one is definitely darker. So when I put this one on, it's going to give me a real dark color. So I don't want it quite that dark as I'm starting to tan. So what I will do is I will put a little bit on my palette, mix the two of them together, and then put them on my face, because I don't want to be quite that dark, but I don't want to be as light as this. So I love to mix them the two of them together. Okay, I'm going to try to get some of this off since I only have one hand that I can put the sunscreen on to show you. Okay, those are two of my favorites from the drugstore that I have been using. Now, I do have a little thing that I want to tell you. I did my favorites and fail videos. That was the one prior to this one. And one of my fails, the only fail that I had for the month, was this sunscreen right here. This was the Eucerin Daily Protection Face Lotion and Sunscreen. it was a fail to me on my face, and it still is a fail to me on my face. It does not mesh well with other moisturizers, and it does not mesh well with any of the foundations that I've tried it with. But I will use it on my ears, and I did it this morning. It does. It feels nice when you just put it on certain parts. My hands are so dry. When I put it on my hands, and I showed in that video, it left it tacky. Now when I put it on my ears, they're not tacky, but they're not, I mean, it doesn't feel as great as like some of my favorite body sunscreens that I use, but it's nice enough that I can just, instead of throwing it out because I couldn't return it, I'll use it on my ears, so I have sunscreen on my ears. So I'm still going to get to use this, but I would not recommend it for anyone who has dry skin on their face. But I did want to let you know, it works okay on my ears. It doesn't, because I'm not putting moisturizer all over my ears, it's going to work fine on my ears. Okay, moving on. You all know, if you've watched my channel at all, that one of my favorite skincare brands is Dermatology. So it would be no surprise to you that my favorite sunscreens come from Dermatology. And they have 4, not 1, but 4 different sunscreens that I love, and I use all 4 of them. The first one that I started out with was the first one that they came out with was their Dermatology Tinted, Universal Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46. This stuff feels amazing on your skin, and I use a lot of their skincare, and I love all of it. I use their needleless serum, I use their nighttime peptide, I use their retinol, I use their hydrating serum. I use so much from them, and I do love it. And this meshes well with all of them. This is a sunscreen that has zinc oxide, and it also has octinoxate in it. So it's a combination. It's a physical and a chemical sunscreen. I do not mind that because it's half and half. This has got a beautiful tint to it. It feels very lightweight. I will say, compared to the CeraVe, this feels so much more lightweight, and it just absorbs in just beautifully into your skin. It just feels hydrating. I mean, the CeraVe does as well, but that's a little bit thicker. So that's why I use this a little bit more in the wintertime because it is an SPF 30, but that's why in the summertime I like to mix it with this because it's an SPF 50. This is an SPF 46. This feels so hydrating. I mean, my hand is going to feel great for the rest of the day just by putting this on. I love this. And the tint on it is a nice universal tint. It's not dark, so it's not going to affect any of the foundation that you put on, but it gives you enough that if you wanted to just go out for the day with just that sunscreen on, it's going to give you a little bit of a tint that's going to help cover a little bit of the imperfections and take down redness in your skin, which I do like. So days that I'm not doing anything and I don't want to put, if I'm sticking around the house and I don't want to put makeup on, I know I have to have my sunscreen on. This is what I use because it's going to give me skincare and it's also going to treat my skin with a good sunscreen. So I don't have to worry about that. So that was the first one that they came out with. Then they came out with the untinted one because not everybody wants a tinted one. They don't want something that they think is going to change the color of the foundation whatsoever. So they came out with just their SPF 45, broad spectrum 45, Defend and Prevent. And this one again is your combination, your zinc oxide and your octinoxate in it. This one is white, but it blends in to your skin so nicely. It does not leave a white cast at all because of the zinc oxide, because it is a combination one. It does not leave any kind of white film or anything on you at all. And it just goes in. It has a nice glowy finish to it, which I love. Anything that's going to make me look glowy and dewier to me is a plus. I don't want to look like I have dried old wrinkled skin. So I just love that. So they have one that has tint and one that doesn't have tint, and they're basically the same except for the tint. They both feel very hydrating on your skin. They both are moisturizing. They both have an SPF of 40. One's 45 and one's 46. I don't know why it's like one different, but they both have a good, nice, solid sunscreen in them. Then they came out, because I'm sure they probably had people that said they did not want anything that had any kind of chemical in it. So they came out with their physical tinted moisturizer SPF 44. So we have 44, 45, and 40, 46. So, but they're all up there, which is really good. And this one is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So it's basically just a sunscreen, but I like this one too. And I'm trying to wipe off everything because I want to get a good. This one has glow and protect. It's water resistant up to 80 minutes. But even though this is a physical, they made this one tinted, which I really like, because if it's just titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, that could leave you a white cast on your skin. So this one is tinted, just like the other one. I like this one. I think the tint on this one might be just a touch darker, which is fine with me. And this one is perfect for the summertime. Again, you can see my skin is just a little bit different from one hand to the other. It's got a little bit of a tint to it, but not much. But it feels very hydrating. And I guess I shouldn't really wipe this off my hand, because you should always have sunscreen on your hand, but hands as well. But this one, it's got other ingredients in here that are really good for you. It does have dimethicone in it, so I think that's why it has that nice slippery feel and everything in it. But it's got other kinds of skincare in it, which I love as well. Dermatology, it wouldn't be dermatology if it didn't have some kind of skincare or something to treat your skin good. And the door just opened up here. Hi, sweetie. Come here. Loki, come here. Come see me. Right here. Come see me. Oh, he's being such a stinker. Come here. He knows I'm not supposed to pick him up, but I did with my other hand. He is a little fuzzball. He wants to say hi, but he needs a haircut really bad. Look at this little fuzzy guy. Do you need a haircut? Do you need a haircut? Who's hidden there? Do you see? He sees himself in the monitor. He's just a scruffy boy. He's scheduled for a haircut next week. I just got mine done this week, but he needs his. Don't you? Don't you? He just loves being up here with his mommy. That's a good boy. I'll put you back here. Okay? So if you hear him jingling around back there, or you see his little head popping around, that's my little baby Loki. Rhodey is probably downstairs someplace, and I'm sorry, because I can now hear the lawnmower. The last one that Dermatology came out with is their medical grade. This is their Daydream Broad Spectrum SPF 40, water and sweat resistant to 80 minutes. This is like your day cream. I will still put other moisturizers on, but this stuff is just amazing. And this is 100% mineral filters. It's zinc oxide, and it says basically use it as a sunscreen. But I will tell you, it's got 17% zinc oxide. I love the delivery system in this. It's got a little cover on it, and basically what you do is you push down and your sunscreen comes out the top. Now, this is not enough for your face. Don't think that this is. One pump is definitely not enough to cover your whole face. But this one is not tinted. This one feels super hydrating to me. Like I said, I do put other moisturizers on, because I put like 2 on every day. But this one, even though it is 100% zinc oxide, it does not leave a white cast whatsoever. This works wonderful with any of the skincare that I have used. I do not have a problem with any of these sunscreens that I am telling you about. That's one of the reasons that I love all of them. You can wear them alone, or you can wear them with pretty much any foundation. And I have tried a lot of foundations, and you know that. I actually last weekend went through and sort of did a declutter on some that I liked, some that I wasn't using. So I got rid of some of them that just either weren't the right color or they weren't hydrating enough for me. But I will say this, any of these sunscreens that I am telling you about, they work perfect alone, and they work perfectly with your makeup. So that is a plus for me. I can't buy one like this. It isn't going to mesh well with my other skincare and isn't going to mesh well with my foundations because I wear foundation every day. Okay, I have two new ones that I want to show you real quickly. And one of these has been recommended by Angie from Angie Hot and Flashy. And I watch her channel, and she had been recommending this as one of her favorites for this year. It's called the Undefined R&R Sun Serum. So Undefined is the name, beauty, and it's their R&R. It's a broad spectrum SPF 50 tinted mineral sunscreen, water resistant for 40 minutes. So it's not 80 minutes like the other ones. The active ingredient in this is zinc oxide 12%, broad spectrum, UVB, UVA, PA++++, blue light, and pollution protection. That to me covers it all. And at first I'm like, oh, it seems like it's a small bottle and I really don't want to get it. I ordered mine off of Amazon. I knew they do carry it on a couple of other, I think they have it at Ulta and maybe someone said Target, but I got mine off of Amazon. I do really like this. It says to shake it well. So we're gonna do that. Oh, sorry, my bracelets. I love this bracelet. I got this years ago and I don't know if you can see it, but it's mixed metals. So it's got silver and gold, gold and rose gold, and it's just got hearts all the way around it. So, okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of this, and you can see this is more like a serum. It just drops out, and you can see it's thin. It's already running down my hand. The one thing that I am not crazy about this sunscreen, the tint on it is a little bit yellow undertoned. I have a very cool undertone in my skin, as you can see. And you can see that this looks a little bit more golden or yellow. That's the only thing that I don't like about this. Other than that, I love the way it feels. I love the way it works well with my moisturizers and my skincare. I love the way that it works well with my foundations. Now, the tint is not that deep that when I put my foundations on, once this absorbs in, the tint is not as noticeable to me. If you have more of a golden or yellow undertone, and I've said this before, I do believe in color analysis, and I had mine done, and I'm a true summer all the way. As you can tell, my hair is like ash blonde brown, with a lot of gray in it now, which is fine. But I definitely have a cooler undertone. So I like to find foundations that have a cooler undertone and things like that. So when I got this, I was a little bit skeptical, but when you put your sunscreen on, you always want it to set in and, you know, soak in a little bit before you start putting all your other stuff on anyways. So I will put my moisturizers and everything on. I put my sunscreen and everything on, and then I start doing my makeup, and I always do my eyes first and stuff. So by the time I get all that done, it has absorbed in. And once it absorbs in, it's not too yellow for me. And when I put my foundation and concealer over it, it works fine. It covers it fine, and it blends it out so it makes it more of a neutral undertone on my skin. So I'm happy with that. I love the fact that it's an SPF 50, and I would actually, you know, I would wear this on its own, even though it is a little bit more golden, and maybe just put like a powder or something on that has like a little bit cooler undertone on top of it just to set it or something if I wanted it not to be quite as golden looking on my skin. But if you have a golden undertone or a warmer undertone, that is going to be a perfect one for you. And I believe Angie does have a little bit more when I listen to her videos and the colors of foundations and everything. She's more neutral to warm undertone, where I am definitely cool all the way. The last one that I got this off of Amazon, and this is a Korean sunscreen. And I don't know if you can see this. The whole thing is in Korean. But when I bought it offline, everything was, you know, in American, so you could read it. This is the Biore UV Aqua Rich Watery Gel SPF 50 plus PA++++. So this has got a UVA, UVB full spectrum sunscreen. I will say this is not a physical sunscreen. This is a chemical sunscreen. and it's thin. But I will say this, I have watched several YouTubers that they love Korean sunscreens. And I kept thinking, you know what? I'm going to try one because I know so many people like them. I will tell you this, when they say aqua, it feels as light as water going onto your skin. This feels so wonderful and so hydrating. And if you want something that's going to absorb in quickly, just like that. It's absorbed in. It feels hydrating and dewy. It blends wonderful with every sunscreen that I have used. It blends wonderfully with any of my foundations. I love this. And I know, some people may say, oh, I'm only going to buy American made. But even a lot of the sunscreens that we use, if you look at them, they may not all be made. The Australian gold is his country of origin, is USA. You would think Australian gold, it would not be made in the USA. But there are other ones that when you look at them, they may or may not be made in the USA. And I don't know, I guess Dermatology is California. So I think it's an American-made company. The Undefined R&R, that is made in the USA. So I think most of these are made in the USA, which I really do like, but I have heard wonderful things about Korean skincare and Korean sunscreens, and I do use the Sukiyara Suhara. I use their urea essence on my face. I use their eye cream on my eyes, and I love them. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy Korean skincare because I do love it, and if it works, I'm going to use it. I mean, there are some things that I will buy and some things that I won't buy. So that is one of them that I do. So those are all of my face sunscreens. I am going to give you one little extra bonus and tell you this is my favorite body sunscreen that I use. This is the Banana Boat Light as Air UVA, UVB, broad spectrum SPF 50 plus. This is non-greasy. This absorbs in. There's nothing worse to me than, because I put sunscreen all over my body, my arms, anything that's showing, I've got sunscreen on it when I go outside. I don't want to feel greasy. I don't want to feel like things are tacky and just, when you get sweaty, it's just a terrible feeling. I'm sorry. But I like a sunscreen that actually absorbs in nice, doesn't feel greasy, doesn't feel tacky, and this does it. This one is a chemical sunscreen. I will tell you that. I think most of the body ones, there are some out there that are physical sunscreens. I shouldn't say that, but this is my favorite one, and it's avobenzene, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene. So it is all chemical sunscreen agents in here, but I like it because of the way that it feels. I like it because it's a SPF 50. It's the PA+++ on it. It's UVA, UVB. It feels good, so I'm going to use it. I think one of the big things that we need to remember is that we need to wear sunscreen every day, whether you're inside or out, because you can be in your house and sitting next to a window and the sun's coming in and you're getting sun on you and you don't realize it. You could be thinking, oh, I'm just going to be out going from like my house to my car to work, and I'm going to be in, and then I'm coming home and I'm not going outside. It doesn't matter if you're in your car. And I know a lot of the cars now, they've got the UV on their windows and everything. So I've got transition lenses on my glasses. They don't work in the car because my car windshield filters out all that, so they won't turn dark in my car. But my side windows and everything, and if you're driving in the summer, my husband and I am constantly on him, has his windows down, has his arm out and everything. And I will tell you something. I lost a dear friend from melanoma skin cancer, and my niece lost her husband. Same thing. He was a truck driver, and I believe both of them, theirs started on their arm. And because they weren't wearing sunscreen, and my husband is terrible about it, and I'm constantly on him, and I'm constantly on him to put sunscreen on his ears, and I never did before. And I paid the price, and I have said this before. This year here, if I zoom in, you can see 2 little holes there. That's where I had that's where I had cancer removed from my ear because I didn't think about it. And I tell my husband to wear it all the time, and he keeps saying I have a baseball hat on. I said, hon, does your baseball hat cover your ears? No, it doesn't. You need to have sunscreen on. You need to have it on the back of your neck because he always gets a little farmer tan on the back of his neck. And I said, you don't think that's doing anything, but it is. And if it doesn't give you skin cancer, it's going to give you wrinkles. And ladies, I have a bad habit of talking with expression and everything. And I have wrinkles, and I have wrinkles. But I have more wrinkles than I would have because I didn't take care of my skin when I was younger, and I didn't wear sunscreen. And it just breaks down so much the collagen and just so many things into your skin, and it does so much damage to your skin. And I've said this when I first started my channel. I went to a tanning bed for 15 years. I went to the tanning booths. I wanted to be tan looking. You know what? In Michigan, you don't get it naturally too much because we don't have a lot of sun. I mean, we have some in the summertime, but not as much as a lot of other states. So I made that fatal mistake, and my skin paid the price for it. And I've had skin cancer removed from my ear. I've had skin cancer removed from like my stomach high up, and I don't wear 2-piece bathing suits. So it was from the tanning bed. I had, it doesn't show up really good in here, but I have a big scar. You can sort of see it right there on my shoulder, where they took a huge chunk of my shoulder out. It actually is a little dent here. So I am a huge proponent of sunscreens, lady. So if you, any day, no matter what you're doing, put your sunscreen on. Get up, wash your face, put your moisturizers on, and put your sunscreen on. Put it on your face, put it on your ears, put it on your neck, put it on your arms. Granted, in the wintertime, you've got sweaters up to here and you're covered in 3 or 4 layers. No, you don't have to put on there. But you still need your face and your ears and your neck and your hands, anything. And I never thought about putting it on my hands, and that's why I have dry, old, wrinkly hands. So, you know what? You live and you learn. You learn some things, but it could be a very costly lesson to learn if you get skin cancer. So I am imploring you, please remember to wear your sunscreen. They have wonderful sunscreens out there, as you can see, that work well and feel good on your skin. So there's no reason not to wear it. Now, with that, I want to end my video by saying how thankful I am to all of you who are watching my channel. This is something that I love doing. I love talking about. Skincare has been a passion of mine. I mean, I always loved makeup, and skincare has become a passion as much as makeup. And I will always love makeup. No matter how old I am, and I will still wear eye makeup and whatever. But I have learned over the years with my daughter when she went through esthetician school, as I've told you before, that there are so many things that it's amazing how God made our skin and how it can repair itself. So don't think that I'm too old to start changing and start fixing my skin, because you can. There are so many things out there that you can fix your skin, but as you're fixing your skin, you want to protect it so it doesn't get worse. Because if you do all these things to try to repair it, but you don't wear sunscreen, it's just going to go back to the way it was. So my word for the day, and I've even got it on my shirt, if I can back up, I will show you my t-shirt, and I hope it's coming out right for you, maybe it's backward, is thankful. I got this little t-shirt. I'm sure by now a lot of you are aware there's a little new app that's coming around, and it comes up on a lot of the YouTube videos as an ad. It's called Temu. And I actually got this t-shirt, I think, for like $4 or $5. But they had some really cute t-shirts, and they're actually well made. And then they had thankful and grateful and just blessed and in so many things. And I am all of the above. Thankful, grateful, and very blessed to have you who are watching my channel, who are part of my community, and I cannot thank you enough for joining me today. I hope that you will go out, have yourself a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me.